Hey, everybody. Chris Scott here. Really excited to have you on board here for this podcast. I've got my partner Colin with me, and Colin and I both specialize in military relocations into and out of Ottawa. And it's been a very busy posting season so far this year. May, of course, is there's always lots happening in May. And, it's been really interesting with our house hunting trips so far this year. They take us to all different neighborhoods in the city. Ottawa's a spread out city too, so there's a lot of ground to cover. A little known fact: Ottawa, geographically, of all the major market centers in Canada, is the most spread out city. So we got a lot of kilometers on the car here in May with our house hunters. But there's nothing that brings more satisfaction to me in my role as a realtor than helping our military guys find a house within a short period of time. It's just I don't know what it is. I never get tired of it. I always enjoy meeting new people. You get to really know them too because you're spending 2 3 days with them in a kind of a pressure situation. I would say
Mhm.
pretty high pressure situation, and every single house hunting trip is different. But I think of the ones I had this month, just a few of them offhand. We had one client looking down right in the heart of the city in Old Ottawa South in a very active market, had to compete against 10 offers on one in one case, house selling for $300,000 more, limited inventory in the area. She ended up finding a perfect house, just came up last second. And it was a house that, when you think of houses that, are fit for a client, it was just a perfect house,
Yeah.
and she had already left at that point. So we did a virtual viewing, and everything checked out, and she flew back in for the home inspection and was so happy with it.
Nice.
So that was good. I had another clients that bought near an old neighborhood in Hunt Club.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Great
home.
place.
Yeah, backed onto the trees. Was kind of in between for them, D&D and Startop, kind of in between. So the commute times at both places weren't too bad. So it was a perfect compromise there. And we looked at a lot of different neighborhoods.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, we had another one. It was kind of looking a little bit bleak, looking like they're going to have to settle. We looked at a lot of inventory, probably too much inventory. Sometimes it gets confusing when you look at a whole lot of places. So many places where, houses that were discounted that weren't even on the list came back on the list. Like, what I mean? One of those.
Yeah.
Then the perfect place comes up, checks all their boxes in their budget, in the neighborhood they wanted. And like we were in there within minutes of it hitting the MLS. We had obviously the search set up, went in there, saw it, loved it. And it was good because I think it's so much better when the clients have that excitement about a house. You know what I mean? Like when they go in the house, they just feel it, like it, that this is a fit.
Which you don't always get on
You
an
don't always get,
HHC,
and
as we know, right? I
as you know,
mean,
100%.
you're here for a limited time. We just need to find a place. The bonus is when we can find one that's a really good fit for them. Yeah.
That's a big bonus.
Yeah. And
That's
the
a big
best part right now is that you can do that often, and also get them a good price, because that's something that sometimes you have to sacrifice as well, right? We need a house. We don't always have
hang on.
3 days to
Yeah.
negotiate
Yeah.
or to get them down to where is best value.
Yeah.
And now, you know what? There's lots of options, and we can get stuff at a good price, knowing that in 2 or 3 years when you get reposted, probably going to see a little bit of a positive return, right?
It's the perfect market right now for our military
Yeah.
guys. It's
Good
it's
point. Yeah.
it really is. It's a
Yeah.
balanced market. There's inventory in most of the areas. Still active. You still got to be on the ball. But there's some reasonable houses out there at good prices.
Yeah.
And we've been very fortunate to hit on a few this month. I mean, we've had a lot. It's been a big month,
It's
and I
been
know we got
busy.
a couple more coming in June and beyond. So it's been great. What's the biggest challenge you're having right now? Like in terms of, our listeners might be somebody that's going to be relocated to Ottawa. They're coming into town. What challenges are you having right now, facing some clients coming in from out of town, if any?
I mean, one, I guess, is that maybe there are too many choices where houses, a lot of them are newer and in the same neighborhood, and kind of look the same and are mostly the same size and have the same amount of everything. but they kind of start blending into each other, and that can make it difficult for buyers. I mean, well, I talk about that sometimes with buyers who are here in the city,
Mhm.
that it's almost that analysis paralysis, right?
For
So
sure.
so that can be confusing a little bit, I guess, but it's not the worst problem to have. I think because of the way Ottawa is slightly more insulated than other market centers in Canada, the biggest challenge is if you haven't sold your house, and this has always been the case, but if you haven't sold your house before you come for a house hunting trip, then despite how many options there are, it's still not always in the seller's best interest to accept an offer when you still have a house to sell. Because there's a lot of buyers here in Ottawa.
100%. I mean,
So,
I would say, in my experience, strongly recommend selling your house in your respective city before you come from a house hunting trip, because you know what's going to happen, and it's happened before. You come in and we're going to show you houses that you love, but you can't buy.
yeah.
That just, sellers will not entertain
Yeah.
a first refusal condition, and it's even harder to get them to agree to a first refusal condition for a house that's not even in the city. And
Yeah,
it
we
makes
don't
it
know
hard for
that
the
market.
realtor because they don't know the market. They don't know if that house is well priced, how long it's going to sell for, or how long it's going to take to sell. So, yeah, I strongly recommend that. And our clients are mostly doing that anyway because I mean it's a big investment of time and resources for them to, potentially fly into the city, stay at a hotel, all that kind of stuff. So they want to be kind of ready to go. Maybe a little different if you're in Kingston or Trenton. You could just come up and look at a few places. Those are more like scouting trips, and
Hmm.
we do those too, where
Yeah.
you come in and you really have the intention of buying. The intention is just to really get a feel for the neighborhoods, and that's fine too. We'll definitely be game for that, and
Yeah.
anything that can get our clients comfortable in the neighborhoods they're looking and choosing. I'll tell you, one piece of advice that I always tell our clients too. We know the areas very well. Obviously, we know the neighborhoods. I've been doing this for 21 years, and we've been everywhere. But we don't know, everything about every street and every who's living in what house. So, what I found very useful is, if the clients have a couple properties they like, going back to the neighborhoods, getting out of the car, walking around,
Hmm.
you know, going behind the house if there's a path, going to the park. You know what I mean? Just really
Yeah.
getting a feel of the neighborhood that they could be spending the next 5 years of their life in, because that's such an important element. And what I always recommend is, hey, if you got is there a neighbor outside? Talk to the
Yeah.
neighbor.
Love those neighbors.
What are you thinking about the neighbor? Like, how do you feel? How do you like living in the neighborhood? What's the
We're
school
moving
like?
too.
Yeah, oh, this neighbor's that, or what I mean. You get the kind of the inside scoop, and I think it's very important and certainly something that we recommend. A little tip out there
Yeah.
for you because
Uh,
your time is limited, obviously, on your
And we don't
HHs.
always exactly, we don't always have the time, I guess, based on the market conditions to do that. I mean, that's what we say to buyers. If the conditions allow for it, go drive through neighborhoods, find out where you want to be. Obviously, a condensed timeline for a house hunting trip, but it is a time in history where you can see 10 houses on your first day. You can see 10 houses on the second day easily as well, right? But, if you're not sold on one of them, take a drive around the neighborhoods, see who's at the park in the evening or what the commute is like at rush hour.
Yeah,
Like you do have maybe a little bit more time to kind of think about the things outside of just finding a home that you like in a place that's close to a school that somebody says is good. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
all good.
yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you on that. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting couple months coming up too. Good inventory. We get yeah, more house hunters coming. I just wanted to encourage everybody, if you do have a posting message and you're thinking about Ottawa, reach out to us. I mean, we know the city really well. This is really something that we take a lot of pride in. We specialize in these type of relocations to Ottawa, and we'll do everything we can to make sure that you have, a very smooth transition here. We understand, like the way I always think about it is, our role during that week can really have an impact on, our clients' lives for the next 3 to 5 years if they're in the right house, the right neighborhood, all right school district, all of these things. So, that's really what I have in the back of my mind. And I don't know. I feel like it's probably the most fulfilling part of my job
Mm,
with the military guys.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hard week, but it's rewarding.
yeah.
And it's better than having no options like in the past years,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe
for
get a good
sure.
price as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
a little less stressful than in previous years.
A little bit, yeah.
Actually, a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you agree? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
for
hey, I
us,
mean,
you know?
I remember 3 or 4 years ago, it was like the Hunger Games trying to find a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was, like,
Yeah.
wild. Like, it was a crazy,
Yeah.
crazy
So
week.
now we just spend our time looking at more homes before we
Yeah,
make a decision.
yeah,
But still have had trips this year where we saw something that was right on the first day. And the advice I gave was if you like it, you should
for
put an
sure.
offer on it because, you know, you might scoop it on somebody else and somebody might scoop it on you if you don't, because there's lots of people still buying out there.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, chances are, if you really like something,
Why not?
somebody else will too, and you're bang on, where I've had that before too, where, yeah, first day of the house hunting trip, "Yeah, okay, we're not quite ready, we'll look at this." "Okay, that's fine." We come back to it, or it's forced back to us because somebody else has put an offer on it,
Hmm.
and then you're competing for it.
Yeah.
So instead of competing for it, maybe you get it on it early if it's the perfect fit, I've had that happen before. I've had the first showing. I remember the house exactly. This is crazy. I remember this house. This is probably 7 years ago in Baywood. The first house they looked at, it was like
Off
first
the
day, like 90. No, seriously, like it was like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or something, and it was like we had that house secure by noon,
Yeah.
and it's such a nice home, and it's like still suits her. I think they actually rented it out. They got posted out, and they've kept it because they liked it so much. So anyway, going down. But it's funny the things you remember, eh?
Yeah.
All these years doing this, but it's something that certainly we enjoy. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and please reach out to us if you have any questions, concerns, or like more information about our military relocation program. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Take
you.
care.